What's good? Robert Chung. Trying to get this lighting straight. Kerry Jr. Yes, sir. Mr. Cheap Sense in the building. Baltimore big man. What's good? Live J5. I've been great, man. I'm one of the fortunate ones to have two jobs that are essential, and I haven't stopped. Let's see. How do you feel about Beyond Noir by Parfum Vintage? I have never smelled that, so I couldn't tell you. Believe it or not, there's a lot of stuff that I have not smelled or even got my nose on. So y'all may think I'm a big deal, but I'm really not. There are people out there who got way more stuff than I do that's more expensive that, you know, I may not never be able to get my hands on. So let's see. Zach says, have you ever used Issey Miyake Low DC Pour Homme Intense? I think I have it. I don't believe I've worn it yet. So once I do, you will get a review out of me on it. I apologize, y'all. I'm sitting right underneath a light, and it is giving a glare, especially off of this bald head. Baltimore big man says, I'm ready for things to get back to normal. It's gonna get back to something. I don't think we'll ever be back to normal like it was before the corona thing. If it does, I'd be surprised and I'd be very grateful for it. But I think this is something that we're gonna have to learn to adapt to. But we'll see. Have you smelled Paisley Sky by? Believe it or not, there are a lot of fragrances from that company I have not smelled yet, and that is one of them. I haven't even gotten a chance to review the other 2 or 3 that I have from them. So if I get my hands on it one day, I will do a review. I got the Issey Intense and never wore it too. Yeah, a lot of that stuff I find at stores like TJ Maxx and Ross and Marshalls and whatever. And I just get it just because I see it and I know I may not see it again. So sometimes when I run into stuff like that, I just get it and run with it. So I understand. There's a lot of stuff I haven't even reviewed yet that I have on my shelf. So what fragrance do you wear to work? I don't know if you are a subscriber to my YouTube channel or are friends with me on Facebook or following me on Instagram, but I post every single day my scent of the day, and I don't wear the same thing over and over and over. Like some people will wear one fragrance all week long. Some people do testing. A lot of people don't like the way I do it. You can't judge a fragrance at one time. Personally speaking, all I got to do is smell it, and I can tell you whether the scent, whether I like it or not. Then I can wear it and give you performance off of it. I can mad test things in the heat. You know that fresh, fruity stuff like that usually don't last long, depending on what it is and where it comes from and how much concentration of something that's in it. But for the most part, I don't wear the same thing over and over and over, and I wear different stuff every single day. So it's the actual fragrance that he copied was one called um, Pacific Rock Moss, and he did a good job on it. I just didn't get that great performance. I got like this is off of my skin now. I can't speak for anybody else, but off of my skin, I got like an hour projection. I got like 5 hours of longevity out of it. And to me, personally speaking, it smelled too much like Ferrari's Noble Fig, and it smelled like Kendrick Good's Sea Salt and Fig from Old Navy, which is not a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but if you get Pacific Rock Moss from the actual company, it's gonna cost like $180 something. I would much rather have a clone of it and it not perform and spend 20, 25, $15 or whatever than to pay 185. So that's just me personally. Frag Head says OG Keith, what's happening, brother? Ain't nothing to it, man. I'm at work. Right now I'm just chilling. Ain't nothing really to do. I already did everything. We're not doing any floors since the corona thing. All we do is go around to buildings and we spray down door handles with a disinfectant, handrails, anything people touch while they're working. This is a paper mill, so anything they touch, door handles, handrails, fixtures, thing on the toilet, the handles, the flushes, the sink knobs, we have to disinfect everything. So No Saints 94, what's up, my guy? What's good? Zach says, I love watching you, man. Love from the England, my G. Thank you, man. That's what's up. I mean England, not England. I mean, I understand what you're saying. I appreciate you watching too. I get people from all over that chime in. Let's see. Brian Will says, good evening, sir. What's good? Bruce Taylor, what's up, bro? I thank God my job is essential also, and the extra hazardous pay comes in handy. The place I work at is surrounded with COVID-19 patients. Yeah, man. I'm glad everybody on here hopefully is safe also. I don't know if y'all saw that video I put out a few days ago. You know, people, even though they may not have COVID-19, are still being affected by it, especially financially. And the video I did where I was telling people, you know, I feel their pain. I was giving them, you know, little tidbits on what you can do while you know, cooped up in the house, like open a blind, open a window. If you got a house that's fenced in, go outside for a while, do something, you know what I'm saying? But people are really being affected by this, especially the ones who have jobs that are non-essential, that are closed down. Like, people are struggling. You know what? Now that I have y'all on here and I haven't done a live in a while, what's also petty to me that the government does is the world is in crisis. They want to come up with this package to give people money. And they put a stipulation in there to exclude you if you this, and this. So they saying if you, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but this is just what the information I gathered and what I heard with my ears and what I seen on TV. They say if you are behind on child support and if you owe the IRS and all of this other crap that they got going on, then you're excluded from it. And I've heard people say that's not true, but I keep hearing also that it is true. And if it is true, I don't see how you can, if people are in crisis and need help, how you exclude certain people but then help everybody else. What about the other people? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not speaking for me because both my jobs are essential. So personally speaking, I haven't gotten any money and I didn't care whether they sent it to me or not. It would help, you know, put a little padding in my bank account because I wouldn't even spend it. I don't have the need for anything, but or you know, something else that the government comes up with to exclude somebody. So I don't get it. Georgia Gent, what's up, man? What's going on? Frag Head said agreed. The last fragrance I wore consecutively was because my girlfriend told me to. LOL. Other than that, yeah. I don't think I have ever worn the same fragrance 2 times in a row. Not even if it's something I love, I haven't worn it more than once. Now, stuff like Trace Nuit, which I love, it got me mad compliments. Club de Nuit Intense Man gets me compliments. I have quite a few that gets me a lot of compliments. Bora Bora, and I've never really worn them like back to back, even if I got a lot of compliments. I like to test out other fragrances and see what kind of reactions I get from them. That way I can give you guys the information, and then you can go out and buy these or sample them if possible and go from there. Be Love, what's your top summer scents that last? I know for a fact that, and I'm not going to call out what people are going to expect me to call out when it comes to fragrances, but Ferrari's Noble Fig, Radiant Bergamot, and what's the other one? It's another one that they did that I have too. I can't remember the name of it, but those 3 are bangers, and they last on me. I can't speak for any. Like, that's something else that y'all have to understand too. When us as reviewers tell y'all that something is fire or something is it lasts, we only speak from our standpoint. We don't speak from where you stand. So I can't sit here and say it's gonna work for you just because it worked for me, because it may not. So you have to do your own homework. But those fragrances from Ferrari last. I have one called Albatage Concepts. I think it's #1. I think it is. That's a good one, but that's kind of expensive. That runs you anywhere from $200 to $500 depending on where you get it from. Man, I will have to be in front of my collection because I can't remember everything off the top of my dome. Plus, I have a lot of samples and decants that I have to go through, so there may be something else in there that I could throw in that list also. Let's see. Pacific Rock Moss was a joke for the buck. Yeah, I can't see myself paying $100 and something for something that's gonna last, a couple of hours. I don't see that with any fragrance, to be honest with you. I don't know who this idiot is. Keep messaging me, man. This dude is a real clown. I'ma just give y'all know how I do, man. If y'all don't like my personal stories, y'all can go ahead and drop off now. But me and my ex-wife, we get along fine. We got 2 kids together. We still co-parent. I do what I'm supposed to do for my kids, whether they are with me or they're not. Child support is paid. I don't have no issue with that, period. So this dude, I guess she started talking to this little short, Oompa Loompa looking dude. And she wasn't really giving him no play. And he messaged me on Christmas Day and was whining and crying in my inbox about, I don't understand why she won't such and so because I'm doing this, and this, man. Can you give me some advice on what to do? And I don't understand. Like, dude, why are you in another dude's inbox about their ex? Like, I didn't even respond back to the dude. I started typing, and then something in my brain was like, don't even do it, man. So I deleted what I was typing, and I just ignored it. So apparently, me and my ex-wife had a little discussion about it a little while later, and I guess she must have mentioned it to this dude, and he messaged me earlier today talking about, since I can't hold water, he gave me some little lame speech about how he was there for her and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, dude, I'm not supposed to be there for you. Is her husband, not me. And he messaging me all this foolishness, man. So I straight up told him he was soft, he a bitch, and that if he see me in the street, just do something. I'm not doing all this back and forth. And he just messaged me 3 times in a row. Now, I ain't responded earlier. So if he's watching this live stream, in which I don't think he can see it because this is YouTube, this is not Facebook, but this dude is a real joke, man. And for you to be crying in another man's inbox about what you doing for somebody and they not giving you rhythm, if you get the point that somebody's not feeling you, move on. Obviously, she don't want you, and you a fool for giving her your money, and you not getting nothing in return. So, with that being said, man, I apologize for the rant, but this channel is real life. All that faking and flogging and fronting people be doing, and all this conspiracy theory crap that people be doing, I don't care nothing about all that. This is real life over here, and if anybody got an issue with me, we don't have to do this back and forth. I'm not doing all this keyboard warrior stuff. Come holler at me. Back to the fragrances. Yeah, but I don't see myself buying any expensive fragrances and they don't perform. I hear people talk about how Creed don't perform anymore, but people still run out and go spend $300, $400, $500 for a bottle of that stuff and be disappointed. So that's on salute to them. I'm not doing it. Michael says, hey, what's up, man? Bruce Taylor, did you smell John Varvatos Artisan Blue? I don't have that one. And if somebody sent me a sample of it, I haven't reviewed it yet. So I haven't. I didn't even know that there was an Artisan Black until I saw a reviewer talk about it the other day. I didn't know that. Let's see. Scented Picks review says, what's good, Mr. Cheap Scent? What's happening? Brian says, be safe out there. I resigned my job in the field due to exposure to different hospitals all over Texas. There are other jobs, but no other me. You all sheltering. That's what's up, man. You got to do what's best for you and yours. I've been asking all the reviewers your favorite Virgin Island water cologne from Alexandria, Sensual Obsessions, Babylon. I haven't smelled the one from Babylon. I think I have the one from Alexandria. I'm not sure. I have several ones. Sensual Obsessions does a good one. I think Dapper Fragrances has one that's pretty good too. My favorite, I will have to do a side-by-side comparison to be able to tell y'all that. But just ordered Alt Take on Sauvage. That's what's up. I had Ventana by Armauth, which was good enough for me, and I recently sold that because I have the old version that the mayor of Detroit gifted to me when I first started reviewing. So I didn't need Ventana anymore. Ventana did do me justice, but I didn't really need to hold on to it. Hopefully it's good stuff. It should be. Sensual Obsessions in the building. Speaking of Sensual Obsessions, he's in the building. Kevin Hope. What's good, Kev? Keep doing your thing despite what people are saying or what people are trying to do. They trying to bring your company down or whatever you got going on, man. Overlook that foolishness. Keep doing you. Don't respond to that BS that's going on. They ain't got no life. It just is what it is. Striving to be set apart in the building. What's good, homie? Scented Waters. What's good? Brian says, hey, at Michael, which alt take you ordered? Central Obsessions, what's up, man? I'm thinking of pulling the trigger on Andy Warhol. Yes, Andy Warhol. I am, and I don't want to keep tooting my horn, man, but beep beep or toot toot or whatever you want to do. When I got Andy Warhol from Kevin Holt over at Central Obsessions, I hyped that thing to high heaven. And despite what anybody else, but Andy Warhol, when I first smelled it, hands down was my favorite. So check it out, man. Central Obsession says, hi, Dan. Farouk, you won't regret it. It depends on how much money you're being on child support, but yeah, it's true from others in the. Yeah, it sucks. Regardless as to you being behind on child support, man, people still have to survive, especially if they're not working. So what difference does it make if you're behind on child support or if you're behind on taxes or whatever? If you're putting, okay, for everybody who doesn't get it, and it's going to be a lot of people, where does the rest of that money go? And my personal opinion is going right into the pockets of those greedy, greasy palm people wherever, Washington or where. Central, I tried the live chat but couldn't get a response. The people say is they regret they didn't get a bigger bottle. I said the same thing. Me up, so I appreciate it. Just got my Andy Warhol in the mail. He is in line. You won't regret it. The cologne I really want to get my nose on is Chanel. Man, that Chanel Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme gets a lot of hate because of how sweet it is. I love that fragrance. And I wore it to work when I used to work at the hospital, and I got a lot of compliments. So what people are saying about that fragrance, man, they can say what they want. I love it. I like it. I have it. And it just is what it is. Now, the one I do regret not picking up because I picked up Missoni instead because I got that the same day I got Chanel Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. I should have got the Platinum Egoist, and I will get my hands on it sooner or later. I'm logged off. Brian has a migraine all day today, but I'll turn it on. Baltimore Big Man, oh yeah, how old is that Bora Bora? And I really like it. I'm gonna get a, I don't know how old it is. I just know that one day I was in the store, I think it was Ross, and I kept seeing it, and I was curious, and I bought it. It was a cheapie. It was like $12 or $15 or something like that. No, I think it was $10. It was like $9.99 or something like that. And I got it, and I sprayed it on one day, and I went to work. And I kid you, you can go back and watch my old video of it. I think I had like 2 videos of it. Women were going crazy over that fragrance, and I don't know what's in it that causes them to lose their mind, but they love it. Martin Martinez, keep it going. What's good, man? If y'all don't know Martin Martinez, I call him the king of Zara fragrances. If y'all want to know anything about Zara fragrances, he does other fragrances or fragrance houses also, but Zara, from what I saw, is his mainstay. And if you want to know anything, I only have, I think, 3 fragrances from Zara, and they started disappointing me, so I gave up. But this guy is consistent with his Zara thing. He tells you what's good, what's bad. He's also on that bandwagon that Zara is dropping the ball. But he still lets us know what's good and what's not good. So if you haven't checked out his channel, I'm not going to tell you to subscribe. You make that decision on your own. But check out his channel, Martin Martinez. Great guy. Sensual, this was a few weeks ago, all good. Which I did Burberry Touch. I wore that 3 days straight. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with wearing a fragrance over and over and over, especially if it's a signature scent. Burberry Touch can be a signature scent, if you ask me. I just don't do it personally. Somebody told me that a man should never smell the same every day, and that's something that just stuck inside my head. So my goal actually was to have 365 fragrances in my collection, so I would never go a whole year, even though I did have at one time almost 400. What do you guys think about Mont Blanc Explorer? I have a sample of that, a carded sample. I haven't worn it yet. I've heard some people say that it doesn't smell like Creed Aventus. I kind of have smelled it before. I haven't smelled the carded sample I have, but I think I smelled it in store. I kind of get somewhat of a resemblance to Creed Aventus, but I don't know what the performance is like, so I really can't speak on it. Bright Neroli. Yes, that's the other one. Okay, Ben, Bright Neroli. I'll get the 100 ml of Andy Warhol. Baltimore. I just ordered Bora this morning for $9.50 on eBay. Fingers crossed. Yeah, you really ain't gonna be losing nothing, man. Even if you didn't like it, it was only $9.50 or about $10. So, but I think it's great. It's sweet. It's kind of sexy. The women around here liked it when I wore it. So, Ferrari, Bright Neroli, is that? Yeah, I think it was. I got Noble Fig, Radiant Bergamot, and Bright Neroli. That's the one. Those are the three that I like for spring and summer. There's more that I could add in the list, but I'm not in front of my collection. Scented Waters, you like that Atomic Rose. Mont Blanc Explorer is nice. I've heard that. Mark Anderson, what's up, big dog? What's good? Central Obsessions, want to let everyone know, including you, Keith, I'm going to be making extracts of some of my favorites fragrances, so you can have the choice to get the current concentration or the extract. That's what's up. Kevin and I do talk, not as much as I do with most people, but he had told me a couple of days ago that he's working on some things, so stay tuned for that, y'all. I did mention in a review the other day that us as reviewers, we want to see these fragrance companies do more originals and not a lot of copies and clones. It's good to have, more affordable versions of our favorite fragrances, but after a while it starts to get redundant. All these companies come out and they're doing the same clones of the same fragrances, so give us some originals too. Does anyone remember this discontinued fragrance from Dolce & Gabbana, Masculine? Wish it was still made. I've heard of it. I haven't smelled it. Yeah, he sounds like he's crazy. Yeah, he is crazy. He just messaged me again. If you hear my phone binging or going off, that's this dude. He just sent me 3 messages trying to get me to listen to something. I guess he's trying to prove that he a gangster or something. I don't have time for that foolishness, man. All that gangster talk, dog, you can miss me with that. If you gonna do something, when you see me in the streets, do it. We live in the same city. This is a small town, dog. When you see me, just handle your business. Explorer is okay, but there are better fragrances that are better clones of Aventus, and to me, Explorer smells like an Aventus clone. I said that in the beginning also, that it's a clone until I got my nose on it. It's close to it. It doesn't stay the same though. The dry down, it did change on me anyway. I did spray a spray of it on my hand when I sampled it in belts before the Corona thing happened in the store. Does anyone actually have Instant Crush? I've heard of that from Mancera, I think it is. I've heard a lot of talk about that, but I haven't smelled it myself. Brian, that Bora is crack. You won't regret that. Perfect for after the shower. Let's see. His game is not as good as yours. Yeah, this dude, man, I don't know what his problem is. I guess listen, I've been in this dude's shoes before. I've been the fool before. I was one of those dudes who was out there trying to impress females by bringing flowers and candy and trying to take them to dinner and all kinds of stupid stuff, man. And at the end of the day, it just ended up biting me in the ass. And I don't that I'm dealing with right now. When we first started talking, and I told her the same thing. If you don't like me and what I have going on in my life, my door is right there. And she stuck around. The only reason why me and her are like this to this day. So much respect to her. But this dude is a joke, man. And You could tell he ain't got no life. Just looking, if this is his real profile picture, like, dude look like he just had a rough life and he just needs a hug or something. But I'm not in the hugging mood, so I don't know what else to tell him, man. He need to find somebody else to play with. I want Instant Crush, but haven't found the right price yet. Yeah, Manceras are pricey. Let's see. Explorer, I've considered, but I have like 8 Yeah, I have Creed Aventus now in my collection. If y'all haven't seen that video I did where I said I finally found my unicorn or something like that, I said I finally got Creed Aventus, and I've had several variations of it in the past as far as actual batch variations. And I wasn't as impressed with Creed Aventus as most other people, the fanboys, are. You mention something wrong about Creed Aventus, or you talk about another fragrance that smells similar to it or whatever, people get butthurt. And me personally, I know people say Afnan Supremacy Silver is all this and all that. Club de Nuit Intense, man, to me is my favorite, and I'm gonna stick to that. I've stuck with that since day one. My bottle doesn't smell harsh in the opening like everybody else claims it does. Matt from Georgia Gent said the same thing on camera several times when he came to my crib and smelled it. So that's just me. I have Insurrection Pure 2. I have one from what's the name of the Lady in Red International, their clone house. I have their variation of it. And I'm just not impressed with Creed Aventus like everybody else is. This man is going to be so confused when he catches up with all the comments. Sensual Obsessions, what type of fragrance is Sweet Tooth? Man, Sweet Tooth is fire, but you be in the mood for something really sweet. If you're not into sweet fragrances, like ever smelt something like Ferragamo's Uomo, how sweet that is. It's a smoother type sweet, but it's sweet. It's super sweet. I don't think I've done a review on it yet. It's too hot for it now, so I have to wait till it gets cold again. Keith, a real one. Man, listen. That's the only way I know, man. I know there are people out there who don't think I'm real, who think I'm a corporate cocksucker or whatever they want to call me. And that's fine. I don't really care about all that, man. That words don't hurt. It just is what it is with me. Until somebody can actually step up to the plate and make me shut my mouth, I'm going to keep saying what I have to say. But I'm just not with a lot of foolishness, man. I'm a mellow dude. I do me. I called somebody this morning. There's a coworker of mine at my day job early this morning. And I called my friend and I got her on the phone and I didn't say nothing to her. I said, I want you to tell this dude how many fucks I give about anything. And she said none. And out laughing. And I tried to tell him, like, dude, I don't play the radio when it comes to that fuckery, dog. Like, miss me with the foolishness. If you got an issue with somebody, you deal with that person. All this tongue wrestling and messaging and keyboard warrior stuff, man, y'all can have that foolishness, man. Come see me. Whether you beat my ass or you don't beat my ass, you're going to know I was there. And I'm not sitting here claiming that I can beat everybody because I don't think I can. But you're going to know I was there. Trust me. Yeah, Crush is 100 and up. Rather save up for Kirk John original. Striving to be, it's an original. I have sprayed it on myself, but it's too hot for it now. Sensual, do you make Virgin Island water good quality scent? I think it is. I know you're talking to Kevin, but I like it. I have his formulation of it, and it's very good. Smelly J, hello. What do you think about Azzaro Wanted by Night? I have smelled it. I don't own it. I have the original Azzaro Wanted. I think it smells good. A lot of people don't like it. They say it's boring. They say it's not that different. I like it. I just haven't found it for the right price yet. It's crazy up here over in the DMV. Hope you're safe down there, my guy. Scented Pick Reviews. Yeah, I'm good. I'm always good. Even when things aren't going good, I'm going to tell you I'm good. Brian, my Virgin Island water is great. And I'll be coming out with an X-Straight soon, too. Brian, he gonna tell you that his is good because it's his fragrance. But I can co-sign to that. It is pretty good, man. Papa Smurf says, hello, what's good? Central Obsessions, I appreciate you, Keith. And no, I don't let anyone get to me. Violates, it is what it is. Definitely, that's my saying. People said that I should make a shirt with that on it. I may just do that just for kicks and just for kicks. Bruh, try Moschino Toy Boy. I've been hearing a lot about that. I haven't tried it yet though. I haven't even been able to get a sample of it, but that's one I was going to get from Creed Virgin Island Waters. Sensual Obsessions, will you have an inspired impression of Dior Homme Parfum? I could see that selling well considering it's hard to get in the States. Are you going to review Netflix and Chill from Scent Nation? Yeah, I will as soon as I get my hands on it. That's what I haven't gotten. Everybody else has. I think he sent me 2 or 3, I think. He might have sent another package. I'm not sure. It's so hard to keep up with a lot of this stuff. But what I've smelled from him, so the only one I didn't like initially was the oud one that he came out with. But I have to give that some wearing. That's just by me spraying it in the air and smelling it. Let's see. Sensual Obsessions, what's good, Kev? I actually do a Dior Homme clone. Trying to get rid of this headache. Child support is worth. I'm on child support, and I didn't care when she decided she wanted to put me on it. Because I look at it differently than most guys do. I see it as if me and their mother was still together, that's the same money I would have been using on them anyway. Child support takes it out of my check, so I really don't even miss it. And even when the kids, like my son is with me now, even when my kids are with me and she gets child support from me, I still kick out of my pocket when the kids are with me to do what I have to do for my kids. So for those guys who moan and groan and bitch and complain about having to pay child support, either you shouldn't have had kids or you just need to man up and do what you need to do. It's only for 18 years depending on when you started being on child support. Luckily for me, my kids were already pre-teens or close to it when I decided I wanted out of the marriage. So my daughter just turned 18 in February. She's off. I'm just paying for my son now. So I'm cool, man. I didn't bitch and moan and groan about it. I just accepted it for what it is and I kept moving. And most guys can't do that. But I also understand at the same time that there are women out there who use that money for their personal gain. And if it's supposed to be child support, then it needs to go getting a Louis Vuitton bag or Gucci bags or red bottom shoes or getting their hair done every week. Like, that's nonsense to me. At least give $1,200 to the child and old taxes or old child support, and you not want to help them when like we're in crisis. A lot of people aren't working and haven't been working. So why exclude those people? I don't understand it. Platinum Egoist is fire. Yes, it is. I like it. I have a clone of that Scented Waters. Shan Swan in the building. What's good, man? Shan Swan came into the game, and I don't know what happened. He got to a point where he felt like he wanted to, bow out of the game. But recently I seen that he said he was back in the game. I don't know if you're going to be doing full time, but you know, always remember, man, I didn't understand this in the beginning of my journey either. Quality over quantity. A lot of people tune into these fragrance reviews, and I know I do it now. I did put my, you can only see part of my collection behind me when I'm at home. But you see people with these big elaborate collections behind them, and people get wide-eyed and they be like, oh my God, I gotta have this, and this. And you don't have to have all of that stuff. Get you a few good ones unless you're a serious collector. There's a difference in collecting and being an enthusiast. And I didn't understand quality over quantity in the beginning, because anybody can go out to a store and buy a whole bunch of cheapies and you not really like them. They don't perform. Most of them don't perform well and stuff like that. But make sure you get some stuff in your collection that you know you're gonna love, and not just be like spray on and like, oh, okay, well, I wish I would have never bought that. Because I had a lot of those and I got rid of that stuff in the beginning. So just remember that. Hope all is good. Hope all is well. God bless. Yeah, same to you, man. Shan Swan Waters. Tony says, just ordered a bottle of Hermes. I hope I'm going to like it. If I can say this right, because I never could. Tierre de Hermes, or however you say it. If you're talking about that one, the vetiver based one, I like it. A lot of people aren't a big fan of vetiver, and it's vetiver heavy. I like it a lot. I have a bottle of it. I think I've worn it once since I've had it, but it's probably time for me to break it back out again. It's springtime. It's probably the perfect time to be wearing it. So anything else from that house, I don't think I've smelled, so I want to dab a little bit more into it. Bora Bora was 2002, so yeah, that was a while back. But Sensual Obsessions, women love Bora Bora, and they do. Trust me. I don't know what it is, but they love it. Zara fragrances are actually very unique. White Soho is such a lovely scent, but longevity and projection. Yeah, that's the problem that my guy Martin Martinez be talking about, is the performance. Most of the fragrances smell good, but it's the performance aspect that we talking about. And even if you only spending $20 on a fragrance, or $20-25 for 2 fragrances from them, which is a good deal, you still don't want to have a bunch of stuff in your collection that you really, you know what I'm saying, don't get good performance out of. That's why I said quality over quantity. I have 9.0, Rich, Warm, and Addictive, and I can't think of the other one. It's from the tobacco line. But all 3 of those for me are great. A lot of people don't like Rich, Warm, and Addictive. A lot of people don't like the other one. But hey, if you don't have Valentino Uomo Intense, that 9.0 by Zara is a great alternative to that fragrance, and it's for a fraction of the price. So pick that up. Great powdery scent. What up at Martin? I collect Zara as well. Yeah, Martin is a great dude, man, and I think he should be way higher in subs than what he is right now also. But he has great content. David H says, what do you think of clones? I like clones. I just don't like the fact that fragrances out there that you can clone. You just have to get your nose on some and know what to pick and choose through. But I don't mind clone houses. A lot of the fragrance reviewers or fragrance enthusiasts, or whatever you want to call them, that's been in the game for a while, that has graduated to niche and indie and all of that stuff, they don't like clone houses. Most of them don't. I understand why, and I wish that most of these companies would make fragrances that are more affordable for everybody and not just people with money. And I know somebody's gonna say, well, why don't you just save up your money and buy it? Everybody don't want to do that. It's just fact. Um, Wearing Angoro 3, I really don't like it. I'm only wearing it because it's raining here in New York and there's no one outside anyway. Yeah, I've heard about them Ungoro fragrances, but I haven't smelled any of them. I think I seen one actually in TJ Maxx a few months back, but I didn't get it. What do you think about Dua? I like Dua. Dua fragrances last, they perform, they are powerhouse fragrances, very beast mode. Not everything is going to be for everybody. I do have a few Dua fragrances. The one thing that people don't like is the fact that you're getting such a small bottle for, what is it, like 45, 50, 55 or 60 bucks or something, somewhere around. I think it's like 50 to 60 bucks, which is ridiculous for a lot of people for that size bottle. But I guess in Dua's mind, you getting what you pay for. And performance wise, I can't complain. So I like Dua. You remember Clinique Happy for Men. I used to get crazy compliments. I never had that fragrance. I found it in TJ Maxx in Jacksonville, Florida one time. And I got it. And I think it was like a 30 or 50 ml bottle. And I got in the car. I was headed home. I was on 95. And I pulled it out the box because Trey Sense talked about it a lot. And I pulled it out the box. And I went to hitting the... I'm like, why is it not spraying? And I couldn't even get it to spray. So I never got a chance to smell it. I want to say I did smell it in Ulta, but I'm not sure. But if I can find a bottle of it, I'll get it just to, have it for nostalgia's sake. Incisiali Blue, good for 75, 80 degrees. Yeah, I had those fragrances, and being that I had the original that smelled, those fragrances to me are pretty much clones of other fragrances. The only one I like a lot is Colonia, but Blue is good. The other ones that from that house, I've had all of those in the beginning of my fragrance journey, and I actually sold or gave them away. So let's see. El Padrino, are you serious? People are still acting it. Yeah, they ain't never gonna change, man. And I'm not paying them no attention. It is what it is. Good evening, Mr. Cheap Sense and ladies and gents in the room. El Padrino, was good? Sensual obsessions. Women don't like guys who are too nice or try too hard. Yeah, I had to figure that out the hard way. I'm gonna tell y'all a funny story, man. So I'm from Alabama, a small town called Castleberry, Alabama. And I don't know if y'all are familiar with Alabama. It's in between a town called Bruton and Evergreen. And I think Montgomery is on the side of Evergreen, and I think Pensacola, Florida is in the opposite direction. So I'm in the elementary school, and I think it was middle school were in one building where I grew up. I think the high school was in that same building too, because they separated the high school and put it in Evergreen. But anyway, there was this one girl, I liked her so much, man. I was little. I was in middle school at the time, I think it was. And if you ever had a grandmother or a mother that had them like chandeliers in their house, we grew up in a trailer. I think it was like a double. And so it had these little crystal looking things hanging off hooks, over your head. So I decided one day I was going to take one down. I put it in the sink, put some dish detergent on it. So I took it to school, and you know how it is in the movies when the high school kids or whatever, they walk in groups together, the popular kids or whatever. So I'm walking up, and I'm by myself. She walking up, she got her homegirls with her, and I handed it to her, and she looked at it, and she gave it back to me, and everybody bust out laughing. And man, I'm talking about, it hurt me to my heart, man. I went home and I went in. My granddaddy had this 2-car garage, no door on it. It was just something he built. I went in the garage, man, and I took it and I threw that thing, and it shattered into pieces, and that really hurt, man. Fast forward years later, I'm, Mr. Nice Guy still. I like to open doors for females and, you know, like I said, bring flowers and candy and do all this stuff and buy things. And, you know, I'm massaging feet and doing all this stuff and running baths. And I even did one year, I took a bunch of fruit. I cut up some fruit, made this platter for her. And, you know, I had champagne and I had a nice little setup, man. And all of that stuff I did, man, and it meant nothing in the end. Nothing. And women, there are women out there who do like chauvinistic stuff like that, man. But these women today, they don't care nothing about none of that. All they want to know is how much money you make and what kind of car you drive. And it sickens me, man, that I had to change my ways in order to satisfy myself. You know what I'm saying? And I know somebody in here is going to be like, oh, man, you shouldn't change for nobody. But I got tired of being ran over and used and abused, man. And, you know, that's just a little funny little story, man. But I understand. Striving to be set apart. I like Atomic Rose. Not for everybody, but it's dope. If you like, man, I need to get me a rose fragrance. And I've been looking into some things. I just haven't made my mind up yet. But if somebody has something that is affordable that they can recommend me to, because I'm not sure how much that Atomic Rose runs, but I think I have that Club de Nuit Intense for women that I got from somebody, and I think that has rose in it, and I like that. But if there's something for a man that y'all can recommend that's affordable, I don't want to pay no 80, 90, 100, and $300 for nothing. I want to stay reasonable. But if there's a good, decently priced, long-lasting fragrance out there, rose-wise, that I can get my hands on, let me know. Shan Swan, LOL, I'm not in a hugging mood. Yeah, I'm not. Scented Waters, Kev, once I run out of my clone, I'll definitely pick one up from you. Scented Waters, I know you said it's like Delina. Shan Swan, I'm dying for that new Mancera Blue Silver. The only Mancera that I have an actual bottle of is what's the one? I can't think of the name of it. It's the one with the weed in it that supposedly have the weed in it. I can't remember the name of it, but I had a decant of it and I liked it, and a subscriber to my YouTube channel saw that I liked it and I said I wanted it, and they didn't like it and they gifted it to me. So that was my actual first. Matter of fact, they gave me that and they gave me a partial bottle of Montal. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, that was what was up, man. Which one? Dan Trey Sense. Yo. What's up, Trey? I don't know if you still in here. I'm a little behind on the messages, but on the comments. But my guy Trey is in the building. Daryl Steele. You got any Mancera? If so, yeah, the one I was just talking about, I can't remember the name of it. It's the one with the weed in it. Is it damn, I can't remember the name of it. But I like it though. It's nice. I think I have some decants of some other stuff from Mancera. Obsession says, hey Trey, Wayne Morris, hi everyone. Whoever was asking about Instant Crush, I have it, and it's more pricey Mancera, but it lasts 10 plus hours easy with 2 sprays. Shan Swan says, LOL, tongue wrestling. Yeah, that's what they do, man. There are some, I did a little bit of tongue wrestling with some people a while back, and I shouldn't have deal with that kind of garbage, but I just don't see the point in tongue wrestling with somebody and it's not going to solve the problem. If you can't be a man and talk to me and get my side of a story and not just listen to somebody who didn't even have anything to do with the issue at hand, the initial issue. I'm not talking about what was said after the fact, but the initial issue was with somebody else and what they thought I did and I didn't do. And then this person got involved, which made it a real issue after that. So whatever the case may be, I tongue wrestled back with some people. I'm not doing that anymore. And if they can't be men and talk to me, call me like they call each other and talk about other people, then we ain't got nothing to talk about. So whatever. Trey says, what up, Kev? Sam Broom, what's up, big bro? What's good, Sam? Hanging in there, Trey. What up, Sam? My wife loves Kevin Virgin Island water. Yeah, it's fire, man. Trey bought 100 ml of Virgin Island water. Trey says, I got the 100 ml. She liked it so much. Sam says, what's up, Kev? Striving says, Sensual Obsessions, can you make DKNY fuel and DKNY unleaded? Louisiana Fragrance in the house. What's up, man? You clocking in? Sensual Obsession, I'd have to look into it. Striving. Sensual Obsessions, chilling Sam. Hope you're doing good. El Padrino, good evening. Mr. Kevin. Sensual Obsessions, hello L. Sam, all is well, just watching the grandkids. Trey, Sam, what's good? Mr. Sam Broom in the house. Mr. Trey in the house. Yes, sir. Grandkids. You are not old enough for grandkids. LOL. Trey, what's up? L. Shan Swan, thanks so much for the shout out and the cologne knowledge, quality over. Yeah, man, I had to learn that myself. I'm gonna tell y'all exactly, because I had a little quarrel with this person too. What is his name? I can't remember his name. Anyway, that's something that was said to me in the beginning, and I just want to say, whether it's cheapies or it's niche or designer or indie, whatever level you want to be on in fragrance, if you love that, it should be for you, and nobody else should be able to dictate to you what the hell you can like, what you wear, what you don't wear. And that's what people be trying to do. They be trying to persuade you. I don't try to persuade people. And if y'all go back and watch my older videos, I always told people, you have to go out and get this. You need this in your collection. You don't need nothing in your collection. What you need to do is you need to get a sample and a decant first before you go out and commit to buying a full bottle of anything. Because just because I say Virgin Island Waters is good doesn't mean that it's going to be good off of your skin. Or your significant other, if you have one, may not like it on you, and you may not ever be able to wear it again. So even with fragrances, if you buy, say you go out and buy Nautica Voyage for $15, $20 and you don't want it anymore, you want to get rid of it, you may not be able to get your $20 back, because somebody is not going to want to spend $20 for buying a used fragrance, especially if you threw away the box, when they can go to TJ Maxx and Ross and buy it for the same price and get the full presentation. Because I personally don't keep a lot of boxes, unless the box is something nice and extravagant. I keep those, but for the most part, I don't keep boxes. Boxes don't look good on my shelf. The bottles do. But quality over quantity, man, is key. Always make sure you sample things, make sure you test, make sure they last on you, and not just because I or Trey or Sam or whoever, Shan Swan, say that something is good. I'm not going to sit here and continue to tell you. Like I was saying, if you watch my older videos, I said that. So I talked about this earlier too. When I first came into the fragrance game, I didn't have those higher ups to reach out to me and tell me, hey man, I think this, and this, or you should do this. Maybe it'll help you grow. That's why you see me in all of these lives sometimes, or you see me in people's comment sections and I'm saying stuff or being encouraging, is because I didn't have that. And I look at some of these guys now and they still not giving us the knowledge to help us come up or move up in the fragrance world. Um, if I can reach out and touch anybody, I don't care if it's a new reviewer that's fresh in the game. I'm reaching out. I'm gonna let them know, hey, if you need any knowledge, if you need any assistance, if you want me in a live stream, if you want whatever, reach out, holler at me. Somebody reached out to me earlier today and asked me for a collab or to do a tag video. Bro, you don't have to ask me, just tag me and I'll do it. Especially if I see the video. Now, you may have to message me if I'm not subscribed to you or whatever, and then I'll subscribe to you. But send me the message, the link to the video, and I'll get it. I'll do it. I don't have no problem with that. But some people, they get up there in the stratosphere and they looking down at us and they, hey, little people. And I'm not one of them dudes, man. It don't matter how large or whatever. If I get stuck at 2,000 subs, it don't matter to me, man. I'm still going to be me. So Don P says, do I have Facebook? Yes, I do. And my name is Keith Crook, Keithcrook. And if you see my Facebook picture, my profile picture, I got on all white. You can send me a friend request, but know that if your page doesn't have fragrances or isn't fragrance related, sometimes I don't accept those because there are a lot of fake accounts out there. And if you got a profile picture and that's it, I'm just warning you ahead of time. I'm just telling you, because there are people who send me requests all day long and I don't accept all of them. So let's see. Thanks at Trey Sense on the Virgin Island water, striving to be set apart, says got the three amigos in the building. So, Russell in the building, Clone Boys for life. What's good, Russ? That's another guy, man. Russell, I hate saying this, formerly of Outlaw Frags. He's doing his own thing now. I don't know how long. I'm trying to persuade Russ to stay in the game, man, because he's a personality that I feel that is much needed. Some laughter in the game. This dude is funny. How he dresses sometimes is hilarious to me. He has a sense of humor. James is also another one that he's still with. It's his channel. I'm assuming that I understand right. James is also a great guy. I talk to him off and on also. But all of these guys in here, man, if y'all aren't subscribed to these guys' channels, at the least, go check out Broom, Trey Sense, Shan Swan, Russell, James at Outlaw Frags, Matt from Georgia Gent. If there's anybody in here I'm missing, I apologize, but all of these guys are great guys. A lot of them don't get the just due that they deserve. And I'm one who will stick with these guys to the end. I'm in the trenches with them. I don't care what nobody else says. The conspiracy theorist people out there and whoever else that rides with them, I don't care nothing about none of that, man. These guys are the core guys that I came into the game with, and I stuck by these guys. There are people who came in with us that skyrocketed and left us behind and don't really say much. It is what it is. You can't forget about where you were just because you're where you're at. Russell says, what's up, Kevin? Cheapy's the best. Man, listen, when I first came into the game, I thought the world of cheapies because I didn't want to spend. I still don't think that you have to spend a whole bunch of money to smell great. That get me compliments, and you don't have to spend a whole bunch of money. Like, I mean, if you want to, that's your choice. I don't understand that, but I still do believe in quality over quantity. You can have your cheapies, just make sure at the end of the day, when you're looking at your collection, you're going to be satisfied with what you have. Because I did the same thing. I had a bunch of cheapies, and a lot of that stuff I started wearing and smelling, and I was like, you know what, I really don't care too much for this one. So just be aware of that. Just because you like cheapies right now don't mean you're going to continue to like them in the long run. Central Obsession, chilling Russ. How are you? Baltimore Big Man. This quarantine is definitely a good time. Yes, it is. It kind of hurt us in the beginning, some of us live streamers, because I tried to do like 2, maybe 3 live streams at the beginning of this Corona thing, and people just weren't tuning in. And I thought it had something to do with me, and maybe somebody out there was persuading people not to like me or tune into my channel or whatever. But I understand now. But yeah, it's a perfect time to be sampling and testing things in your collection. If you haven't had a chance to get around to it, you're sitting around all day not doing nothing anyway, you might as well. Central Obsessions, you got Creed, Spice, and Wood. I do not. Striving to be. Russell, I'm good. Marvin says, good evening, Keith. Keith, good evening all. Keith, do you wear fragrances to bed? Since everything is craving some of my fragrances. Yeah, I wear my more inexpensive stuff. I don't wear the higher end or more quality designer stuff. I might wear something like Nautica, Voyage. I have Bath and Body Works fragrance, Teak Wood, which is a great fragrance. It just doesn't perform too well, but I wear that to bed. Sometimes I may wear like a light vetiver fragrance or something like that. Yeah, I do wear fragrances to bed. Not all the time, but because sometimes I use body wash that has that scented smell to it, and it defeats the purpose of wearing a cologne when you got on a scented body wash. L, what's up, my friend from Sam Broom? Let's see, Russell, Sam, did your package show up? Sam Broom, I know you happy to see CD Lamb. Spice and Wood is my favorite. Cop the Flancone. Usually it's so opulent and transitions better and better till the end. I haven't smelled that one. Bora Bora is made by, it's made by Liz Claiborne. Spice and Wood is a banger. Hell yeah, we should be explosive. Alfonso Smith, what's up, man? What's up, Keith? Half their things only, we got to try to do something. Jacksonville, Florida in the house. Yeah. I can't wait to be able to get back to the rack stores, man. I know a lot of people don't like rack stores, but for me, that's where I got my start. And I can't wait to get back to the rack stores and see if they're going to get some different stuff in or if it's going to be the same old, same old. Sam Broom. Oh, I had to check the time. Sam Broom, plus you just got my Boy Toy Digs or Boy T Digs. Russ, not yet. It should be here tomorrow. Club Day Nuit Intense for women is crazy good, and man can easily wear it. Also, Rose by Artelier is gourmand, and Rose darker. Okay. Russell says he cannot do heavy rose. I smelled that one from Armoff, the Club Day Nuit, the one for women, the Intense for women, I think is what it's called, or something like that. I like that fragrance. It smells good. And somebody did, I think it was Cali Reviews did a video earlier I saw where he was in collab with somebody else. I can't remember who it was, but they did a video and he was talking about wearing fragrances that are unisex or women's fragrance, even though the one for Club Day Nuit Intense women or whatever it is for women. It's a clone of a Tom Ford fragrance, I believe it is, which is for men or unisex or whatever. I can do that, but something that has that just straight, you know, that woman's scent that you get from a woman's perfume. It has that womanly touch to it. I can't wear that. That's something I can't do. And it's not because I'm embarrassed to. The smell itself wouldn't allow me to do it. So let's see. Mr. Cologne recommended Roses Vanille. I was talking to a young lady on Instagram the other day, and I think she has Roses Vanille, and she said she didn't like it, and she was trying to send it back. I think that was what she was talking about. Yeah, the Hindu Kush is what I was talking about earlier, Shan. I couldn't remember the name of it, but that's the one. That's the one that I have that a subscriber heard me talk about. I had a sample of it, and he heard me talking about it, and I said I wanted some, and he sent me his bottle because he didn't like it. So that was my actual first bottle of Mancera. That's the only one I have right now. So Hindu Kush, yeah. George Zaharoff in the building. They keep showing some love. What's up, G? If y'all don't know who George Zaharoff is, he's the guy who has the fragrance out called Zaharoff Signature Pour On. Some of you all may have smelled it already, have had a sample of it, or have gotten a bottle of it. That stuff is amazing. And I'm not just saying this because he sent me some, because I said this about the fragrance even when I got the decant, the carded sample or whatever it was. I said it back then. That fragrance is definitely what it's called. Signature is signature scent worthy. If you're not a fan of lavender, you may not want to get it because it is beast mode. And I got a video in the workings, George, if you're still in here. I'm not going to tell you what it's about. I'm just going to do the review or the video. You may like it, so hopefully you'll get a kick out of it. Stay tuned for that. Let's see. Hindu Kush is a good compliment puller. Central Obsession says, hey, George. George in the house. Hey, gents. George says, George is a great guy. If anytime y'all see George pop up on a live stream, or even if he's doing something on his own, check him out. He has both feet planted firmly into fragrance. I think fashion. I'm not sure what else you're into, George, but definitely check him out. I also think I heard that you have a new fragrance you're working on. I don't know how far along you are with that, if it's ready or if it's not ready yet, but I can't wait to get my nose on that also. Let's see. Sensual Obsession says, oh, but what I was saying was, if you ever see George pop up anywhere, make sure you tune in. George has a lot of knowledge, and he knows what he's talking about, and he's on the opposite side of the tracks when it comes to fragrance, and like he's inside when we're outside. So tune in and check it out. You may learn something. Central Obsession says, what are you doing tonight, George? Louisiana says, hey, George. Wayne George Zaharoff. Hi, George. I ordered Signature Pour Home and looking forward to getting my bottle soon. Glad you shipped to New Zealand. Wow, he's in New Zealand. That's what's up. Kenny Benny, have you tried Bulgari Man Black Cologne? I think I have that one. I like Man in Black better. The Oriental one is the one I want to get my hands on, but for some reason you can't find that unless it's discontinued. You can't find it in rack stores like you can the other ones. So I may have to order it, but I've heard Jensen say that the Oriental version is his favorite, but I want to get my nose on it. Extended the stay at home through 31st of May. Wow. I mean, ain't nothing really you can do. They are opening things up here. They started today. I don't think it's a good idea for Georgia to be opening up this soon. But it is what it is, and I can't stop it. I'm only one person. So it is what it is. We're going to see what happens. There's a discrepancy going on where Trump did say that somebody came in the back. Trump did say that it was okay for Georgia to open up and then backpedal and said that he didn't say that. So now there's some things going on between the governor and Trump and all this stuff, but whatever. Let's see. Wayne, Kia Ora, George. Nice one, George. Sam Broom, what's up, George? George, Sam. I don't do these as often as I used to, being that the Corona thing was going on. And the first 2 or 3 lives I tried to do, I actually did try to do a giveaway when I hit 2,000 subscribers. And the day I did it, only 2 people joined in. It was Trey and somebody else joined in, and I told them I wasn't going to worry about it, but I may still try to do something a little bit later. So let's see. George Russell says, how you doing, George? Please like the video, chat. Keep being you, bud. Definitely, man. I'm gonna be me till the end of time, buddy. Till it's time for me to meet people at the crossroads. I'm gonna be me. Let's see. Keith, don't forget to send me the headshot. Hey, bro. Hope you're having a good day. This is James from Outlaw Frags. If y'all see this comment down here, he's the other one I was talking about earlier, a little earlier. Very good guy. And I was mentioning Russell and James earlier, amongst other reviewers that have been day ones for me. I can't speak for too many other people, but this is the core group around the era that I came in a couple of years ago, and these guys have been the ones who stuck around and reach out, and we all conversate, not as much as I would like us to, but I accept whatever I can get from these guys. They are cool, very cool. Let's see. George says Russell is a good guy. I agree, Keith. Yes, all of these guys, in my opinion, are great guys. Even you, George. Let's see. Hey, James. Hey, James. They are a good team. Yes, man, listen. I don't mean to bring this up, but when I first heard that James and Russell wasn't going to be doing videos together anymore, that kind of bothered me, because I even said it. I said it, I think, in a live stream. They like Batman and Robin to me, and y'all can pick and choose which one is going to be with whoever. But them guys had great chemistry, man. And for whatever reason, they're not doing their thing right now, but they are still friends, which is more important than anything. So it was good that we still got these guys in the community. Some just don't know how to stay humble. Yeah, I agree. What's up, James? Yeah, staying humble is the key. Definitely, man. I have people all the time who tell me that they call me big homie, OG. I don't feel like an OG, but you know what I'm saying? They shout me out, they big me up all the time, and it didn't get to my head. My head is already big anyway, but it didn't expand my head. It didn't make my ego inflate. I'm still the same person. You still can reach out to me. You still can talk to me. People have my Facebook Messenger thing. They have me. They can reach me on. I can pull up right now, and if I could pull up right now and show y'all my Instagram messages from all the different people that message me, and so that's just me, man. And I'm gonna continue to reach out to the newbies and the people I came into the game with. Y'all got my support no matter what, hands down. I'm in the negative, other channels are, or whatever the case may be. All these trolls out here, they can miss me with all that. Bro, we have a great group of us that keep each other afloat, and we will keep each other going. Just spraying 1 million lucky again to remind myself still a love. I had 1 million lucky, and I bought it because of the hype, and that was a mistake for me, because even though it smells good to me, it was just bleh. And I actually like Azaro Wanted better. That's why I sold my 1 million lucky. But I'm actually kicking myself in the butt because the collector side of me, I have Privé and I have 1 million. I need to get Lucky back so I can complete the trifecta. So that was my mistake. Yes, the rack stores need to open back up. I think ours did today. Here in Georgia, we had a lot of open up, but they still have to follow guidelines. So I don't know how long they're gonna be open because people are gonna just be excited to be outside, and it's just gonna be a mess. But I'm with you. I'm ready. Scent Alchemist, what's up, my dude? Scent of the day, Office for Men. Yeah, that's a good fragrance. My scent of the day was from Dapper Fragrances, and it's their formulation of I'm having brain fart again. Pacific Rock Moss. Russ, Trey, and Keith, we will have to go live this weekend. I'm down. Have you ever tried 1 million Lucky? Yes, I have. I have had that, and it was just okay. It wasn't all that, but I do need it back in my collection. So, Scent Alchemist, what's up? My dude George Z, Sam. Hey George, I hope you are well. That's from James over at Outlaw Frags. Alfonso, because Trump of the flip flopper. I agree. Wayne Morris, Keith, when you going to do George Zaharoff review, the reviewer? That's up to George. I know right now he can't do any traveling because they are locked down, but I wouldn't mind doing it if he was up for it. I mean, I don't see myself as somebody interesting to be reviewing, but I mean, if he wanted to, I'm game. Let's see. They are trying not to bankrupt the country further at the expense of endangering the population. Sam, Groom Fragrances, right now every day is the weekend. Ha ha. I've been in lockdown about a month now. Do you like Halloween Man X? Yes, I do. I do not like it more than I like Halloween Man Shot. But I do like Halloween Man X. Somebody sent me a sample of it, and I did wear it once. I like it better than the original Halloween Man also. But not more than I like Halloween Man Shot. Hunter Law, Abbott Fragrance. Hey bro, scent of the day. My scent of the day is from Dapper Fragrances, and it was their version of Pacific Rock Moss. Yeah, that's what I felt about Lucky when I first got it. I was like, is it is that it? Wore it a couple of days ago and really liking it. Yeah, I think I should have gave it more wearing, but being that I had Azaro Wanted, and it kind of smelled almost similar to me, except it didn't have the note that I like in Lucky in Wanted. I should have kept it, but we make mistakes. Alfonso Smith, didn't inject yourself with detergent. Let's see. Oops, disinfectant, I mean. Finally got to the end of all these comments. I got 30 more minutes till it's time to go. I am ready to get out of here, and then I gotta work in the morning. But luckily, we close early on Saturdays. I go in at 8 and we get off at 1. I'm at home, because doing them at my job, that I won't be able to connect, so I have to do it at home around Wi-Fi. So anybody want to do a live stream and you're interested in having me on, just let me know. If you're using StreamYard, just send me the link and I'll jump in. Any tips for new fragrance YouTubers? Yeah, first and foremost, do not fall into the trap that people set for reviewers. I fell into the trap. I allowed somebody to, like Kevin Gates said, trick me out my position. Don't be arguing back and forth with people. People are going to disagree with you, but don't allow people to force their opinions on you like other people out there that I know of. Always stay true to what it is you are getting into the game for. If you're getting into the game just because you want to be like everybody else, or you want to have as many bottles as everybody else, that's the wrong reason to do it. I got into the fragrance game, just to share my story once again. I was going through a rough patch in my life, and I actually started going to the rack stores because of Big Beard Business and Mo from doing the rack store videos, and it got me into it. And so once I started going to the rack stores and finding fragrances, and I started finding a love other than what I was out there trying to impress this female and get over this relationship, the love just got stronger and stronger. And before I knew it, I had like 400 fragrances in front of me. So also remember, quality over quantity. Do not go out and buy a whole bunch of stuff that you're going to regret later. Make wise decisions. Sample, test. If you are into clone houses, then don't let somebody persuade you not to be. If you don't want to spend a lot of money for fragrances, clone houses are definitely a way to go. And I'm not saying this just because Kevin from Central Obsessions is in here. I'll say this if he wasn't in here. I'm not telling people to go solely with clone houses, but if you're looking for an alternative to a favorite fragrance of yours and you don't want to spend that money, go with the clone house. It doesn't hurt. There are a lot of good clone houses out there. What else? I don't do clicks. There are a lot of clicks in the fragrance world. And some of these live streams I be watching, I said this before, there's some weird stuff that be going on in these live streams. And I know some of the older reviewers, they came in together so they know each other well, so they can talk to each other like that. But I'm sitting in some live streams and I'm just dumbfounded. I'm lost. I don't know what they talking about. And some of the stuff just don't be funny sometimes. And this is not a knock on those people, but just sometimes their lives aren't for me. Like, y'all tune in to know what I'm talking about, what I wear. If y'all got questions that I may be able to answer, that's what y'all tune in for. Some of y'all tune in for my real life stories and stuff like that also. But don't fall for them clicks and all of that stuff either, because they can persuade you one way or another about fragrances. So your opinion should be your opinion solely and not everybody else's, and then you just speaking because you heard somebody else say it. Because I used to do that too. I used to hear what other reviewers said in their videos, and then once I come across that fragrance or something like it, I would almost repeat what they were saying to make it seem like I knew what the hell I was talking about. And now I just say what I feel. If I spray something on and I smell it, then that's what you get. And that's all you're going to get from me. I'm not finna sugarcoat nothing. If I don't like your fragrance, I'm just going to say it straight out. I don't like it. I'm not going to be what some people say that as far as like tell somebody their fragrance is good when it's not. I've never done that ever. Kevin can speak for this from Central Obsessions, because he sent me something that I didn't like or I felt should have been stronger, and I told him. So always be honest with yourself and be honest with whatever you are reviewing. I had to tell this to another reviewer one time. Not everything is beast mode, and people aren't stupid when they watch your videos. They know. Just because something performs well off of your skin does not mean that I'm going to go out and buy it and it's going to perform like that off of me. So stop telling everybody that everything you review is beast mode, because it's not. I know this for a fact. So let's see. Hunter, please make sure to stay within your means. Yeah, exactly. Don't go out there like what I was talking about earlier. When you see all these reviewers with these big old collections behind them, don't fall for that foolishness where your eyes get big and oh man, he got. Focus on what the reviewer is talking about. Don't just be watching what's behind him. That's a distraction. And it's not on purpose. It's mainly sometimes to draw people in. But yeah, don't think that you have to have all these expensive bottles of cologne in your collection to be somebody in the fragrance world, because you don't have to have that. Do you have a metric or a set of talking points when composing a review? I don't personally. I just say what comes to mind. I'm not like some people who have stuff scripted. I don't have no teleprompter in front of me where I'm reading off the teleprompter. Sometimes I jot down little notes and you may see me look off and read the notes off. But as far as me giving y'all my review on what I just wore or what I just smelled, I just give it to you off the top of the dome. I don't do all that extra stuff. I don't do editing. I don't do all this. And nothing wrong with all of that. But I've gotten to where I've gotten by hard work and being honest. And people seem to like that about me. And it's no holds barred over here. Now, nothing wrong with editing. I know sometimes editing and other things can skyrocket you to another level, but I'm comfortable with what I'm doing. I'm chugging along, and I've made it this far. I'm gonna keep going. Keith, have you sampled Mancera roses in chocolate? Maybe try that and see if you like the rose in that. I don't think it's super heavy rose. I haven't tried that. I haven't tried a lot of Mancera, but it sounds like something I may be interested in because I do like chocolate, and rose is something that I want to get in. I really want to get into oud also. I have been looking into some Middle Eastern oud fragrances, and I got my eyes on two. I'm not going to tell y'all what they are, but I got my eyes on two. They are inexpensive. One of them looks expensive, Latafa, or Latafa, however you say it. I got my eye on something, and I'm gonna get it. So, have you tried Mandarina Duck Black by? Yeah, that is to Chanel Allure Homme Sport or Extreme, in my personal opinion. I have a video on it. I think I have 1 or 2 videos on Mandarina Duck Black. I've recommended that fragrance a lot to people. If you don't want to spend what you're going to spend for that Chanel, in which I splurged and got the Chanel anyway because I got it at a good price. But Mandarina Duck Black is a very, very, very good alternative. I won't say clone, but it's a great alternative to that Chanel fragrance. And I like it a lot. I do have it. Great tips, man. Glad to be in this great community. I agree about the live streams. Many people will live stream and not talk to the viewers. Yeah, I've been on that side of the stick also. I reached out to people when I first came in the community, and people to this day, I comment on people's reviews or whatever, and they don't say nothing. And I understand that the bigger you get, the more harder it gets to be able to reach out to all these people. If you got 20, 30, 40, 50,000 subscribers, there's no way you'll be able to get to all these people. I get that. But sometimes even in a live stream, man, when you say something, people just overlook the comment, and you can see the comment above yours. They read that one, and then yours is next, and they don't even read yours. So maybe sometimes it's personal, but with me, I don't even care. I got to a point where I started getting tough skin, and I don't let a lot of stuff bother me like it used to when I first came in the game. I do know that fragrance companies are not biased as they think they are, or unbiased, I should say. And I think most of these companies pick and choose who they want to deal with. I've reached out to companies for samples or whatever, and the first thing they say is, well, what's the link to your channel? So I don't know whether they going to see how many subs I got, or are they going to see what kind of content that I have, or what. But they don't deal with a lot of us small time guys. They don't. And I see some people, they get all these bottles from, you know, certain companies like Rosia Dove and, you know, all this stuff, man. And you know, I think equality should be across the board. Not just because somebody got 5,000 or 10,000 or 20,000 subs. It should be equal across the board. So maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, but that's just my personal opinion. And I'm not afraid to voice my opinion. So that's just how I feel. And I know some people are going to be out there and say, oh, he just want free stuff. And then, like, whatever, dude. Just get over it. I know you always keep it real, bro. Been watching you for a while. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. That's why I like your channel. You straight up. I like honesty. May not agree on everything, but don't have to either. Like what you like. Yeah, that's exactly it. We should be able to agree to disagree. Me and Trey don't always agree on fragrances. Sam can attest to this too. And I do this on Facebook when people post stuff too. If it's something that I've had before or I have and I don't care for, I mention it in the comment section. And Trey don't get mad and get butt hurt and be like, oh man, why did Mr. Cheapfish jump in my comment section and be like, he didn't have to say that. We should be able to agree to disagree. And there's people out there who get butt hurt even when you bring up Creed Aventus versus let's just say Club De Nuit Intense. Man, they get butt hurt. And it's not that serious. It's really not. And I don't understand why people get so upset by that. You can't even voice, like, it's funny to me, and I don't want to mention names, but somebody said that, how can I put this? I can't even figure out how to word this. You know what? I'm gonna skip that right now. Let's see. Halloween Man Shot is a winter, spring, summer, fall fragrance. Man Shot to me is more of a fall and winter time fragrance. It kind of puts me in the mind frame of something heavy like YSL Loam. What is it? Not Loam. L'Ennui de Loam. It kind of puts you in the mind frame of something like that. That's more for fall and winter. But it's good though. I like it. This is me with my picture. Don't believe you cannot do reviews using decants either. Yeah, you can. You just don't have the presentation in front of you to be able to show them the full bottle presentation or the box and all that. But you can do a review using a decant. I don't know, like, whatever, man. I don't have time to be sitting trying to write up viewpoints and all this kind of stuff. Like, I don't. It is what it is. I just tell y'all whether something smells good or not, whether I like it or not, how long it lasts, and how much it costs in most cases, and that's it. Most people, you're going to lose their attention span after a certain amount of time anyway, as the analytics say. Most of my videos are about 10 minutes long, and for some reason I have the gift of gab to keep people's attention. People don't drop off with my videos, so I don't know what it is. Maybe people just like seeing this handsome face, but whatever it is, I'm appreciative of it. Let's see. Chug. Yes, sir. Chugging along. Choo choo. 1G1 reacts. You authentic OG. You in your own lane. That's why we rock with you. I appreciate that, man. Habibi Desert Oud. I have heard about that one, and I want to get my nose on it, but that's not one that I was talking about. But I do want to get my nose on it. Hoop Nation, what's up, my G? What's going on? Wayne says, I know it's Mancera again, but if you're looking at Middle Eastern rose frags, then try Mancera black to black, but be warned, it is powerful. 2 spray max, not for summer, by the way. I'm a big fan of Mancera. Yeah, I can tell, but it ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Everybody should have a vice or a favorite house. If not, like me, I like just about anything, so it really don't matter to me what house it is. Mont Blanc Legend Spirit. Just want some cheap daytime fragrances for summer. Yeah, I got that, and I like Spirit. A lot of people don't like it, but I think it's a nice, fresh, kind of citrusy type fragrance. It doesn't give you the greatest performance, but you know, while you do have it on, it's gonna smell great. Thanks for the info, much appreciated. Why can't we all stop collecting? It's so hard. It's like you want to keep buying more. It does get addictive, man. I got addicted to it too, and I had to stop myself, but I started having a little bit of financial problems. That's why I eased off of buying a lot of stuff. I'm gonna ease back into it, just not as heavy as I was. And what I told Trey the other day, and which I told him he's gonna get first dibs if I start to do this. A lot of stuff in my collection I may start trying to sell off, and I'm gonna start moving into something a little different, fragrance wise. So y'all stay tuned for that. If I start posting things for sale or for trade, y'all better holler at me. Have you explored fragrance blending and combinations? Max Forte has a good amount of videos on the topic. Grain of salt. Yeah, I haven't, but I really don't even watch a lot of Max Forte videos. A lot of them bigger reviewers, when they start moving off into niche and indie and all of that, and I don't be understanding what they be talking about, and some of these names are ridiculous to these fragrances, and I can't pronounce them, I don't even tune in half the time. But I love the channels that I'm not saying I like a lot of the top whatever videos, but I like some of these reviewers that are out here and they making videos and they talking about the more inexpensive stuff and they mixing it in with some expensive stuff. That's how you should balance it out, man. Don't just do one particular thing. You have a broad audience. You didn't come into the game with niche and indie. Some people didn't anyway. You came into the, and that's another point I want to make real quick too, because I see we dropping off. We at 13 now. Some of the bigger reviewers out there, when I first came into the game, they were talking so good about fragrances like Mont Blanc's Individual and a bunch of other inexpensive fragrances. And then all of a sudden, they put these fragrance houses down and they talk about they smell like dryer sheets and don't buy this and don't buy that. But I can go back and pull up videos where y'all was praising the hell out of these fragrances. So why are you going to deter somebody coming into the I may not still rock with a lot of these fragrances, but if you see some of these fragrances, I will tell you that, hey, they pretty decent. It lasted, whatever. It smells like this. Try it for yourself. So that's just me. Need to go walk my dogs. Thanks for giving us your time, Keith. Until next time. Anytime, man. We'll support you when you make the change. Appreciate that. I have to cut down on the top guys. It's just overwhelming and circular. I feel you. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't have no disrespect for these guys because they paved the way. Like Mark Robes 08, Coach Rob 619. Who else? Big Beard Business, Joy Amin. It's a lot more out there. A lot of them not even in the game anymore. Some of them still are. I respect all of those guys. I respect the work that they put in. But sometimes I just feel like we don't get the support from those guys. Like, you know what I'm saying? Rose Mark reaches out, but not too many others do. Joy does, but I haven't heard anything from Joy. Cuba, I don't know how long he been in the game. I used to watch a lot of his content, not so much anymore. I do like, even though he gets a lot of flack from people, what's his name? Ashton from Gent Sense. I like Ashton, even though, like I said, people give him flack. He don't really give two craps though about that. When he gets into talking about certain fragrances that I don't know nothing about, or I know I can't afford, I tune out. I just don't watch the videos, and I don't understand why other people can't do that also. If you don't like a certain person's content or what they're talking about, why not just not watch that video? Or if you don't like that person as an individual, why not just unsubscribe from their channel and just leave it alone? People got to go in the comment section and be hecklers and trolls and all this stuff. And that's another thing that needs to be addressed also, is trolling. I hate trolls. I don't like that crap, period. Somebody tried to trick me out my position in a live stream a couple nights ago. And I didn't appreciate that at all. But I picked up on it quick. And it's just crazy, man. I don't understand what people get out of trolling. What do you get out of that? You get off like you go in the bathroom and jerk off because you just made somebody get pissed off? That makes no sense to me. I don't get it. But, you know, that's another story for another day. I know we have our own thoughts, but reviewers make me not want the Blue Day Chanel, the original Blue Day Chanel, saying it's got weaker. Yeah, listen. I didn't like the original Blue Day Chanel at first because I thought it was too strong. Just like I didn't like Dior Sauvage, the original one, when it first came out. It was too strong for me. You have to test things for yourself. Don't just listen to what everybody else is saying. Just because everybody else is saying that it's not good and it doesn't perform, that could just be off of their skin. And a lot of times you have to pay attention to this also. People will co-sign with their favorite reviewer because they feel like that person can do no wrong. And you have to watch that. That's why I said be aware of clicks. Just because I say something is good, don't take my advice for that. Take your ass to the damn Belks if you got one, or if you got a Saks or Ulta or wherever store you have that has bottles sitting on the counters or can give you carded samples or whatever so you can test. Go out there and test it for yourself. Don't just listen to what everybody else says, because if I spray Blue Day, because your skin might not be the same as mine, go get it and test it for yourself. Get you a sample of it. Go to the store and spray it on your arm and walk around in the mall or whatever whenever things open up. Do that for yourself, bruh. Don't just listen to what we be saying. I've said this before. Us as reviewers, we have the power to persuade the masses. And we have to be careful with what we say to people. I've said this several times before. Y'all will listen to whatever we say when it comes to fragrances, even if I recommend, like Bora Bora. I said Bora Bora is the shit. Women love it, and people went out and bought it, and they got it for themselves, even though it was like $10 or $15 or whatever, and they tried it for themselves. And lo and behold, a lot of people gave me feedback and said, thanks, big dog. Thanks, OG. Bora Bora was the SHIT. So test for yourself, man. Make that judgment for yourself. If you spray that on your arm and it lasts for you, then you should get it for you. Don't get it because somebody else got it and they say whatever. Joy is a machine. Got 3 notifications on 10 minutes a few times. Yeah, Joy puts out some good content, man. He's very knowledgeable of fragrances, and it's a shame that it's the flack that he get from certain people also. I like Joy. Like I said, I started my fragrance journey watching him also. He's one of the ones that I was talking about earlier that I used to reach out to and comment in the comment section or ask questions, and sometimes I just never got a response. If I ever got a response, I'm not even sure. Mark Robes 08, same thing. Sometimes I used to message him and ask questions, and I would never get a response. He not too long ago started reaching out to some of us, and I appreciate that greatly. So that's what I'll be talking about though, man. Like, y'all got all the knowledge, y'all sitting up here on this pedestal, because we do hold these people up on a pedestal, whether we do it directly or indirectly. And they got all this knowledge of the fragrance world, or fragrance game, and I would love for them to, like that dude do, sprinkle it down his elbow, sprinkle some of that knowledge down to us, man, so we can, you know what I'm saying, grow. But some people just want to be stingy and don't want to share and whatever. So it is what it is. And this is not a knock on Robes, Mark, or anybody like that. I'm just saying that's my personal opinion. I heard that Montauk Chocolate Greedy was good, but I haven't tried it. Yeah, I haven't tried it either. Georgia Gent had a dislike on my video tonight, less than a minute after. Yeah, I get every blue moon, I get 1 or 2 dislikes, and I can almost guarantee you I know exactly who it is, but they don't deserve acknowledgement, so I'm not even gonna worry about it. But it is what it is, man. That just lets me know that I'm doing something good, because I just pissed off 2 people, so I don't really care. It is what it is. Chocolate Greedy is the real deal. It's a very strong gourmand chocolate in a good way. I did a tester. That's what's up. That's part of being on YouTube. Trolls aren't going nowhere. Gotta have tough skin to deal with trolls. They don't have a life. Exactly. 2Step 69. Hey Keith, welcome back with the live chat. It's been a while. Yes, it has, man. I just been busy. Like I said earlier, both my jobs are essential, and I've been working, man. I'm not at the hospital anymore, so I don't have that gap of getting off at 2:30 and then having to be here at 5, to where I can do 2 videos in between and then get to work. I get off at 4, I gotta be here at 5 now. So I'm either gonna do a video on the fly, or you're gonna have to wait till the weekend to get something out of me. So I just decided to go live. I had a few things I wanted to get off my chest, and then, you know, I didn't expect. Let's see. Brian says, this is a great live stream, by the way. Thanks for the time and content. Yeah, anytime, man. Casual Fragrances in the building. What's good, man? He is another YouTube review, fragrance reviewer. I watch his content. He's a very cool guy. He has a plethora of fragrances, not just one specific brand or designer line. He has a bunch of everything. He knows his stuff also. So if you haven't, I'm not going to tell you to subscribe. You need to make that choice for yourself. But go over and check out Casual Fragrances. And if you like his content, then subscribe and thank me later. I'm glad you could join me though, man. Glad to see you in here. Yeah, always test on your skin and see how each reacts to your skin chemistry. I think us as reviewers are the worst for following our own advice. We blind buy a lot, so you might save money in the end. Yeah, we y'all don't know it, man, but a lot of us reviewers, and I don't know if this is the point Russell was making, but Stray Fire, what's up, bro? What's going on? If this is the point he was trying to make, but us as reviewers, we bite the bullet for y'all, and we go out, and most of the stuff that we buy is content for our channels. Or if we don't buy things, we get samples or people send us stuff or whatever however you get them. And sometimes we go out and spend our hard-earned money on fragrances and bite that bullet, and we bring y'all content so y'all will know we can kind of steer y'all in the right direction. But you still have to do your own homework and check stuff out for yourself. Do you believe? I guess that's supposed to be blind buy. Yes and no. Yes, if it's something inexpensive that you're not going to kick yourself in the ass after you bought it. I would much rather buy something for 20 bucks or $15 or 25 or maybe $30 and it not perform. I'm not going to be as disappointed as going out and spending money on something like a Creed, a Ventus, where you're going to spend like $300, $400, $500 and it don't perform. Then what you going to do with it? There may be somebody out there who will buy it off you, but you're probably not going to get what you paid for it. So I do believe somewhat in blind buying, but not totally, if that makes sense. You give the truth about how you feel about a fragrance. I tune into you when I start seeing other reviewers copying each other. I come to you to get the truth. Glad you are here, bro. It is refreshing. Savior King. That's what's up, man. I try to do what I can, man, and keep it as, 100 as possible. Like I said before, there are people out there who think I'm, disingenuine and all that kind of stuff, but who cares about what they think or what they say? They live on an island somewhere and nothing is real. Everything is a mirage. They don't have no life, and they prey on pissing off other people and trolling and all that other stuff. So that's them.